Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to Illini Central. You're looking live at the Cougar Den, affectionately nicknamed that by the late, great Hall of Fame coach John Giesler, two-time Hall of Fame coach John Giesler. I am Tony Worley, broadcasting from the Alan Stout broadcast booth. Alan Stout, alumni of Illini Central from 2008. One of the best kids you'd ever want to meet. Loved this place very, very much. Passed away from brain cancer 2 years ago. We do all this in honor of my dear friend Alan Stout. Tonight I'm going to bring to you the final Tomahawk game of the season, for us anyway. The Illini Central Cougars, as they come into the game with an 11-15 record, and they will be taking on the Illini Bluffs Tigers with an 11-16 record, assuming I can trust what it shows on Max Preps. Cougars are coming into the game tonight, coming off of a tough loss last Friday night to Athens, and the Tigers are coming into tonight's game on a 3-2 streak in the last 5. They beat Elmwood, they beat Rova, they beat Hartsburg, and their last 2 games are a couple of losses at Farmington at home, and they were at Delavan last Friday night with an opportunity to steal the traveling Tomahawk trophy from the Panthers, and came up just short in that attempt. I know the Cougars were hoping they were rooting for Illini Bluffs last Friday night, hoping that the Tomahawk would be here tonight. As you know, the Tomahawk trophy is a traveling one. Whoever has it keeps it. They take it with them to every Tomahawk game. So now the Panthers, I don't know, I guess I could look and see. I don't think they have any other games left. Tomahawk, I think they were going to hang on to that thing until next December. So we come into the game a week away from regionals. Regionals start a week from tonight. I'll get to that in a little bit, or towards the end of the broadcast. I've got a screenshot of the regional bracket. We both are in the same regional. We're in the same subsectional, and we got placed in the same vicinity of one another. We'd have to win a couple games to see each other again, but that is a possibility, as at least the way the bracket is set up. It's hard to believe here we are on the 16th of February. The season, as always, just flies right by. And on a beautiful day like today, we'll take a day like today in February, and it sounds like tomorrow's will be a little cooler, but then crazy warm on Wednesday. So we're going to enjoy it while it lasts. So we got about 3 minutes to go until the national anthem. My keys to the game tonight would be, we've got to compete. I said this in the girls' broadcast. I say this in the boys' broadcasts. We have to compete on every possession. Sometimes it just simply comes down to that. Like, are you going to compete every single trip down the court? Shots are gonna, you're gonna have shots not fall. You're gonna have all kinds of things that could go wrong, but you can control how hard you play. I saw a quote from one of my favorite players ever, Kobe Bryant, and to that effect. There's lots of things in the game that you cannot control, but you can control how hard you're playing. And I also have been known to say to my players and to people that I come in contact with, you have to control the things that you can control. We got a rebound. We need to only be giving them one shot, need to get stops and rebounds. And then I think I said it on Friday too, and it actually was a big part of why we got beat Friday, was we got to take care of the basketball. You just cannot consistently turn the basketball over and hope to have an opportunity to win basketball games on any level. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you're an NBA player or you're a fan of the U of I, rooting for the U of I. I am not, but in high school too, you got to take care of the basketball. Turnovers will kill you. So shout out to the class. The class is Caleb Stender, who made that intro video, that just awesome intro video that led into me talking to you. Looking forward to bringing this game to you. I got a couple high school, the girls are playing tonight. I got a couple games on over to my right. Keep an eye on some teams that we played against during the season. So we're getting ready for the national anthem. I'm going to step away. After the anthem, we'll be back, and I'll get you set with the starting lineups. As I always say, Mr. Damon, Mr. Castillo, our band directors are fantastic. They do a great job. We're so blessed to have them here at Illini Central. They're just terrific, really do a good job. So as we get ready here for this Tomahawk Conference tilt between the two Illinis. Every time I go to type Illini Bluffs on something when we're promoting the games, it's hard not to type Central after you get so used to typing it. So let's see, starters, 24. 24 is Will Emhoff. Number 5 is Griffin White. Number 13 is Alvey. 25, Carson Rademacher. And 32, Justice Duggar. So those are the starters for IB. Usually takes a minute to get the names in my head, but I'll work my best at it. Illini Central with the Metallica blaring, the For Whom the Bell Tolls, off of Ride the Lightning. Illini Central is going to start. Preston Clark is a sophomore. Another sophomore, number 11, Dom Blair. Will gets the start tonight. I've got my graphic off. My graphics off. Will be in there in place of Parker, I assume. Ryder Claypool's number 3, he's a senior. And number 2, Brody Folks, he will start as well. Brody Folks moving up the list of scorers in the history of Illini Central as he comes to the end of his senior year. It's funny watching the little bitty ball. If you watched the JV game, you saw the bitty ball kids out there. Made me think back when Brody would come to Cougar camp and shoot that thing from half court. He could really shoot even when he was little. So as we get ready here for the tip, it will be Alvey jumping against Will Durbin, and Alvey gets that, and the ball will come back to 24. That is Will Emhoff. 4 across for the Tigers. Illini Central starts in man-to-man. They'll switch every screen as Coach Burks normally always does. That's what his dad did when he was in school. His dad on the bench with him. Coach Kevin Burks, 32, a lefty. He takes a 3 from the left baseline corner. That's Justice Duggar, and he hits it. The Tigers will start man-to-man as well. Dom Blair is the point guard for the Cougars. He will bring it up. Off to Folks. They run the normal set play that Coach Burks always runs. There's a variation off of it. Preston Clark gives it off to Ryder Claypool. Nice drive, draws the defense. Dom Blair for 3. That rims out. Rebound down to 32. Duggar, and the Tigers push it the other way. Pull-up 3 on the break is good from Griffin White, and it's 6-0 just like that. That's a confident shot. Get my overlay changed that I forget about 9 out of 10 times. It is the varsity game, the JV game. Lucas Powers' first coaching win. There's a 3 from the top of the key by Preston Clark that rims out. White pushes it up. This time, a little bit better defense on him. Kick out to 24. He pulls for 3. 24 is Will Emhoff. That rebound came down to Clark. He gives it off to Blair. Ooh, Blair behind his back. That's nice. If he can finish that, but he can't. Wow, that was a nice dribble move by Dom. And the Tigers bring it into the front court. Here's White with it on the dribble. Yo-yos it at the top, over to Emhoff. That goes in the corner to Rademacher. Carson Rademacher skips it back to White. That's another 3 for White. It comes out, but the rebound comes down to, it goes off the foot of 24, Will Emhoff, and that'll be Illini Central basketball. So far, I think we've done 2 of the 3 things early in it, but that rebound there needed to be better. And Brody must have stepped out of bounds, stepped on the sideline as he made his move. Nobody to inbound the ball for the Tigers. And now Justice Duggar heads back so that he can give it back to Emhoff. Emhoff brings it up, off to Duggar on the right, trying to get it inside to Alvey. Will Durbin's going to get the steal. Will grab that. Don't just tip it. Brody Folks brings it up. Brody pulls for a 3. Excuse me, that's short. Rebound down to Emhoff. He'll push the other direction and go all the way to the rim. And that's a layup. And it's an 8-0 start. That was not competing. Someone has to stop the basketball. They teach you that from the time you're a little kid. You cannot let someone dribble right down the floor without stopping the basketball. So the 8 points for Illini Bluffs have come from 3 separate people. White with a 3, Duggar with a 3, and Emhoff with the 2. And like I said, they've come into the game coming off of a couple of losses in a row. We've coming into the game off of a couple losses in a row. Preston Clark will bring it up, being guarded by Duggar. He gives it off to Claypool on the left side. Ryder drives, gets underneath the basket, tries to give it off to Will Durbin. He tracks it down after it goes off of his foot. Dom Blair with it on the top right. Looking for a ball screen from Will. Kicks it over to Ryder behind the 3-point line. Like to see Ryder be more aggressive on the offensive end. A lot of times just doesn't look to score, when I personally think he could definitely, especially in around the basket. Illini Central runs the out-of-bounds play. It goes back to Dom at the top. They're looking nice. There we go. Nice pass. Come on, Will. Needed that one. That's one of the things that killed us on Friday. Wow, White has got a handle on him. He quick. White. Griffin White, he is quick. Got to the rim easily on that one. And the thing, too, that he has already done is that pull-up 3 now, if you're paying any attention. you're thinking to yourself, I got to get out on that shot, which makes it easier to go around somebody. There's Ryder for a three. It's long. Will tries to get the rebound. It comes down to White. White goes the other direction. This time he's going to, that's way out there, and it's good. I don't know what he usually does, but he's off to a fantastic start right now. He's fired up about it too. Now we'll see how we respond. Need this one, Brody. Call an offensive foul on Will on the screen. Now we're at, yes. Dom's gonna check out. Carter Flaherty checks in. Parker Swore checks in. Parker's a freshman, so we've got three sophomores, a senior, and a freshman on the court. Down 13-0. Ryder switched on to Griffin White. That's a tough shot. That is a really tough shot. And he is sitting on 10 already. Brody gets into the lane, loses it. Alvey gets the steal. Ryder knocks it away, kicks out. We got to travel. Duggar kind of didn't get his footwork, or when he caught the ball, he's off footwork-wise. Carter Flaherty, better be careful putting it in front of Griffin White. He's already taken one. Here's Brody. That's a good take, but it gets knocked away, and he gets called for a foul. Will's going to check in for Preston Clark. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Illini Central trails 15-0. White missed a little shot on the right-hand baseline side. We didn't get the rebound. We were out of position defensively. When you're out of position defensively, then you're not in a position to box out or even go get the basketball. And just like that, Alvey will go to the free throw line with an opportunity to extend the lead. It's short on the first one. Clark's going to check back in. Number 12 checks in for the Tigers. That's Basham, Ty Basham. And we must be getting the shooter two. I thought I saw two people up there. There might be somebody squatting down in front of the scorer's table. Alvey gets the second one, and I did see someone there. That's number 20. That's Sam Suba. The Tigers pick up full court man, and again, I mentioned it once. I'll mention it again. You better protect the ball in front of Griffin White. Like I said, you can't put it right in front of him. Preston hustled back. Got away with a foul there. That's why when you're sitting over on the bench, you got to be paying attention and seeing what's going on. When you see that White, that's a nice decision by Ryder. There's a shot from Preston Clark. This game's not like Friday night. You're there, just get some stops. White with it, jump stop, gives it off to Emhoff. Ryder recovers quickly. We were out of position defensively, hits it ahead to Brody. Brody needs to go up strong and finish, and he does, and just like that is a quick 4 points. Got to come down here and get a stop. What I was saying is if you're sitting over on the bench, you got to be paying attention. Teammate gets picked by a kid because he put the ball right in front of him. You can't go out there and do the exact same thing. There's a three by White. Got to have a little bit of pride in that. I mean, he's talking to the crowd and kind of want to see some fight here from us. There, Brody gets after it. That's good. Get off the glass. Good. Compete a little bit. Let's go. Coach Brooks calls a timeout. Griffin White is on fire. He has 13. Of the 19 points they have, down 13. It really just comes down to, I said it before the game, it's about competing on every possession. Someone has to decide, because Griffin White, he looks like he's just going to go for whatever he can get. I mean, he's just, I hate to belabor the point, but like I said, he's got 13 points. He's missed one shot that I can remember. And it just rolled off. So, and he's stolen the ball from us 2 times right away. So definitely need to find him on defense and keep the ball away from him on offense as best we can, which sometimes you say things and it's easier said than done. So same 5 stay on the court right now. Emhoff will bring it up. He's got White on his right. We're going to run, they run White off 3 screens. He was open. Yeah, that's a nice play. And that's ours. Ooh, boy, that's a bad call. Not at a time we needed it. That's absolutely positively was out on them. But doesn't matter what I say. I'm not reffing. Emhoff to White coming out the other side, and he hits it. He has 16 points of their 22. Coach Burks is not happy, and I don't blame him. I would be furious myself because you got guys getting screened who are guarding him, and we're not switching out and helping. He shot the ball. He's got 16 points. I bet he shot it 7, 8 times already of their shots. I'm up here doing the camera, calling it, running the computer. But at some point, somebody has to decide they're going to play a little bit of defense, and the teammates got to help out too. It can't be, you can sit in this gym and look at it and go, well, somebody needs to guard him. Well, there's 5 guys out there. They need to work together to guard him. Somebody might be thinking, well, why don't we stop him? Brody got away with a little push off. Yeah, that's it. Go rebound. Come on, Preston. Confidence in yourself. One of my former players over to my left, I could hear him through my headphones. Be confident when you shoot it. You're going to take the last shot or try to take the last shot. One thing would really help against a kid that's on, like I said, absolute fire like White is if you talk a little bit too. I can't hear if our guys are talking. I've got noise canceling headphones on. I can hear maybe somebody sitting beside me like I just said, but here he comes through. And that basket was dumped down because of, and that's one thing when you let a kid get off for 16 points like that in the first quarter, then what happens is then everybody else, then like I said, you're having to help one another. Well, then you can't rest on defense. You got to be moving when the ball's moving, and if you're not, then you're doing the wrong thing, and that's how you ended up giving up that layup because that little set they're running, they're trying to get him shots, and he's drawing all kinds of attention. All the eyes are on him, and then next thing you know, I don't move my feet, and they're getting a layup out of it. Again, we're down 24-6. I personally don't think it's if you watched Friday night, we're not where we were Friday night. We're definitely in a better position now, but we'll see we'll see what we do. Again, it's what I said at the start of the game. Are you going to compete or not? You got 3 quarters to fight. Let's see what we're made of. Parker Umback checks in for the first time. And it will be their basketball. What a great way to start the second quarter, then getting a stop and a rebound. Let's see, we got Emhoff, we got White, we got Duggar, we got Basham, and Suba out there. The guys who finished the first quarter start the second. Let's see, what are they going to run on this play? Ooh, Ryder's going to get a steal. That's a good way to start. Let's make sure we don't call. Good job, Ryder. Now, be aggressive. Just love to see him be a nice screen by Parker. I'm back. There you go. Kick out. That's. Get back and find White in transition. Flaherty does. Get out there. Got to rotate to help. There's help. Number 12 shoots. That's off. Go get the rebound. Preston Clark does. 12 is Basham. So there's 2 stops in a row, but we got to make shots. We got to hit some shots too. That's the thing. Quit putting the ball in front of him. Oh, missed him. I thought Brody was open. Ryder, be aggressive. It's not open. Emhoff knocks it out. Parker Schwartz gets up. He's going to check in. Ryder got to be aggressive. That's good. Give it to him. Thought he was open. Oh, there we go. Give it to him. Take your time. Just rimmed out. Needed that one, but you got 2 stops in a row. I like the aggressiveness from Brody. I like it. Oh, they're going to call. Ball was loose. Nobody had it, but they're going to give them a timeout. I like Brody competing there. I like it. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. You got 2 stops in a row. That's what you got to continue to do. Because right now, and then you got to, like I said, you got to find White from the second they get the rebound or you take it out. Again, sitting here with, I didn't get a roster to me from Illini Bluffs, so I'm going off of what I copied from the book. I don't know if White's a senior. Is he coming back next year? I don't know any of the answers. I can't tell you any of those things. Emhoff will bring it up. That's Will Emhoff. Gonna run him. Oh, don't foul. Probably got away with one. Parker gets the rebound. Ryder brings it up. Just like to see Ryder be more aggressive offensively. I remember Ryder when he had to play JV, and there weren't a lot of guys when he was a freshman, sophomore. Didn't have very good numbers, and I thought he did a really good job of, creating for other people, but also getting his own when he could. It doesn't have to be a 3. There you go. Go up. Oh, how is that not? Jeez. Up to Parker. Brody goes to the corner. Just rims out. Go it, Ryder. Come on, Parker. Short. You can see that on it. Ryder gets the rebound. Ryder gets, ooh. That was all ball. It's going to get a little contentious in here, I think. Oh, darn it. We just cannot buy a free throw. We cannot buy anything. We really need something to fall. The defense has gotten a little bit better. The offense a little stagnant, but we've gotten shots. There's one. We've strung together a few stops here. Let's see if we can do it again. It's about stops and rebounds. Preston Clark up the check-in. Here comes White through. There's a good switch. Number 20, Sam Suba's trying to get posted up in there. And we just got some inexperience out there right now on the varsity level. And if you don't think that if there's a difference between JV and varsity, you're wrong. It's a huge difference. There's a 3 by Carter Flaherty, and we needed it. 26-10 in favor of Illini Bluffs. Suba up top, over to Duggar. There's a steal. That's why I'm saying just got to keep playing. If we can get stops, let's get a good possession right here. Get Brody open somehow. Brody getting face guarded because that's usually what happens to him. Nice. That's good. Stop underneath the basket. There's a finish from Carter Flaherty. More stops than points in this quarter for Illini Central in terms of gotten more defensive stops. Emhoff with it over here to Duggar, who drives. That's a way out there 3, and we get the rebound. Got to compete. Come on, Ryder. Be more aggressive. Nice. Get that. Come on, Parker. It's all right. Good rebound there by Suba. They're going to push it the other way. Find White in transition. Who had? Ooh, that's a tough shot. Nice play by Suba. Sam Suba, I hope I'm saying that right. 28-12. The early hole being dug, it's not helping, and that's a foul on White. That'll be his second, and number 1 is going to check in. That's Grant Pruitt. Flaherty comes out. He played the whole JV game. Swore comes out. He played most of the JV game. Alvey checked back in. Ryder for 3. That's off. Rebound down to Pruitt. That's a foul on Brody, I think. Emhoff will take it out. Good job by Preston Clark to cover up that seal under the basket. 25's back in the game. That's Rademacher. Good steal by Parker. I'm back. Parker probably got away with the travel. Not sure what was called. I thought they were going to call a jump ball. Pruitt gets called for the foul. He gets called for the foul. Brody will go to the free throw line with a chance to shoot 2. He gets the first. 3, just under 3 to go in the first half. It's 28-13 in favor of Illini Bluffs. Carter Flaherty going to check back in. Brody gets both. Emhoff brings it up. Where's White at? On the bench is what I forgot. He did check out after he got his second foul. I forgot. That's why Pruitt came in and got him. Now Emhoff will get going, and he gives it off to Alvey. Will's got to go straight up. He does. Then he's got to get the rebound. He does. Give it off to Parker. That might have been the best thing that could have happened is that second foul for Griffin White. Sends him to the bench. I wonder if he'll stay. Nice back cut by Preston Clark. Off to Flaherty. I'm back with it. Flaherty back up top. That's a good decision. Need Preston Clark to get one, and he does. Bang from 3, and just like that, it's 28-17. I told you earlier, just got to keep playing, competing, stringing together stops, especially while their hot hand is on the bench, and then you just let him dribble right down the lane. That's ridiculous, but luckily he misses it, and we get the rebound. Flaherty drives. That's not a good shot at all. That's a bad decision by a sophomore. Darn it. Really, and then that compounds it. This is Cruitt. That was a foul. Maybe 2 fouls. 32 Duggar checks back in. Flaherty checks out. Probably being told about how poor that shot was last trip. Not a good shot to take. Durbin checks out. Will Durbin checks out. So Brody's back in. Parker Schwarz back in. I wondered. We're going to call it. Little confusion on the Illini Bluffs has to call a timeout. There's a little confusion about who was supposed to be in and who wasn't. They were going to end up with, I don't know, not the people that they wanted out there, I don't think. So they call a timeout. After the slow start, pretty good battle back here for Illini Central. I mentioned that that's what you got to do. But you got 1 minute and 31 left to go. It'd be interesting to see whether Griffin White comes back in or not. As I mentioned, probably just with the lead as it is, you don't want to take any chances. Here's Rademacher. Off to 12, that's Basham. Back to Emhoff. Oh, jeez. That is a foul. It's just funny. We haven't been calling those. Like, it's one of those things where you just never know what you're going to get. Go straight up there. There's a jump ball before the travel. That's number 40, Jacob Russell, who's in the game. Picking up full court man still are the Tigers. Get it into Parker Umback, back to Preston Clark. We have not seen Dom Blair again. I don't know if Dom's sick or he's hurt. I'm not sure what the situation is. There's Brody with it. Brody's going to try to spin and get in the lane. Kicks out to Umback. Umback drives. He probably should have given it off to Schwarz sooner. There's a 3 from Clark, and when Preston sees it go in, that helps his confidence. Clearly, a lot of people are like that, but that is huge to see him hit back-to-back 3-pointers, and just like that, it's an 8-point game when it started out as 15-0 in favor of the Tigers. They're going to call an illegal screen on Jacob Russell there, and that'll bring in Sam Suba. He'll check back in. I assume that'll be Russell coming out. So with 36 seconds to go, Illini Central has themselves in a position. They're already got it out of the double digits. They could get even closer with a good possession here. No. Needed to be a bounce pass. Needed to be a bounce pass. Brody's got 2 fouls, so if you're sitting in the gym and wondering why is he taking him out, and you're sitting or at home and you're wondering why Brody's coming out, he's got 2 fouls. It would be ridiculous to leave him in there and have him pick up his 3rd foul with 23 seconds to go in the first half. Now, did they bring White in? Yes, they did. This is a recipe for trouble right now. Gotta know where White is. Are we talking on defense? Emhoff with it. Will drive. Ooh, that was a nice steal by. That wasn't bad defense right there. Parker Umback for 3, and it doesn't go. That would have been a crazy way to end the half, but just like that, a game that at one point was 15-0 in favor of Illini Bluffs. Illini Central has come back and cut the lead to 8. So, what? If you were watching the other night, the Athens game, it got sideways quick and it stayed sideways for the whole time. Here, though, Cougars done a good job battling back. So let's hope that continues. The defense got better. So if you've watched any of our broadcasts, you know, you've heard me say, if with the Palms girls playing actually copyrighted music through the speakers. I can't actually leave the sound on. I've got to mute it. It's going to make me mute it anyway, or it's going to make me edit the piece out that includes their dance. So I'll leave it on so you can see the dance, but unfortunately I can't leave it in a situation where you can hear the music. So I'll be back after the Palms routine, and at halftime, about 9 minutes to go. Glad you're with me. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I'm back, and we made it through the whole first half without having the error that I have been having, unfortunately, with this new camera. I've got to figure out sometime soon. If the screen freezes on you and then it goes black for a second, you'll know the reason why is I had an error, and I can fix it quickly, but it'll take just 1 second. So make sure you bear with me if that happens. So if you're just tuning in, Illini Central down 15-0 to start. Comes, I don't know, roaring back would be a little bit of an exaggeration, but they chipped their way back into it. It did not hurt that number 13 for Illini Bluffs, Griffin White, had to go to the bench with 2 fouls because he has 16 points, 16 of those 28 that Illini Bluffs has this evening. I think that included 2, 3 threes. Yeah, he was just everywhere. So we'll see. Got to get off to a good start here in the second half. It will be Illini Bluffs basketball to start the second half. There was a jump ball there in the second quarter. They had it to start the second quarter, and then the jump ball gave it to us. So they'll get it here to start the third. Like I said, both teams. We go to Illini Bluffs. We're playing Illini Bluffs right now. We go to Pleasant Plains tomorrow night for the game with the Cardinals. And then we host Riverton on Friday, which will be senior night. It'll be the last regular season game of the year here in the Cougar Den. Obviously, if it's senior night, it's at home. So we'll be bringing that game to you on Friday night. The game tomorrow night, like I said, is on the road. From Max Preps, it said that Illini Bluffs has Peoria Christian coming up, and it said the 18th, which that would be Wednesday. So I don't know if that's accurate or not. And I, for the life of me, could not see where they had played Mount Pulaski. And Coach Burks said that they had Pulaski left. So I don't know if they've got Pulaski on Friday, maybe. That makes sense, but it's not on Max Preps that way. So I'm not entirely sure how their season ends based on what I can see on the screen. I'm sure if you're from Illini Bluffs and listening at home, you're like, yep, that's what it is. But I don't have any way to confirm my thoughts. So here we go. Starters for both teams. White sets the screen, comes to the top, and Will did not defend that right, but we got away with it. Kick out to him there. One thing you can't do, that's a really nice pass. One thing that you can't do when you're guarding someone that's flaming hot from the floor, like White has been, is you can't go help. You're like what you call, a coach will call it no help. If you're expecting the person guarding White to help you, you're making a huge mistake. He's not going, you can't help off of him. Parker has it. Parker, I'm back in the corner. He gets the start. Dom, finish it. Good. So go to the basket there. Ryder, aggressive. So what I was saying is right now Ryder's guarding White. He cannot help. He is not helping any of his teammates. If they're in trouble, it's their own fault. Rebound. Ooh, that's got to be. That's the way to go get it. But we've traded baskets here in the first. Traded baskets to start the third quarter. Carter Flaherty's going to come in. He's going to get Will. We need to make sure we know who we're guarding. It didn't look like we talked to each other who we had. That's worrisome. Brody with a nice pass and finish there. And it's a 6-point game. Sorry, pushed the button too soon. M. Hoff will bring it up. He's played well, too. I like a steady point guard, someone that just takes care of the basketball, gets you into your stuff. This is Duggar off to White. That's a bad one. Tough thing about us switching is you'd like to switch back, and Ryder gets back to him. Here's Rademacher. He drives, looks to kick out. That's White. Get a hand up. Got to stay with your hands up there. Kicks it to the corner. That's Duggar. He was on the line. That's an air ball across the basket. And Preston Clark gets a rebound. He'll push it into the front court, guarded by Duggar. Keep working to get Brody open. Emhoff's done a good job on him. There's the nice back cut, nice pass by Parker. He couldn't have thrown a better pass. Parker back with a great pass to Brody Folks, and just like that, a game that was 15-0 to start is now 30-26 in favor of Illini Bluffs. And Ryder picked White. If you're listening and you're not from Illini Central, it is the Illini Central Sports Network. That is a bad call. Only because they've let that get away. Defense. Yikes. Come on, boys. Good night. That's ridiculous. That wouldn't even have it. White wasn't even involved in that. That wasn't where people were helping on him. Parker for three. Long rebound down to Emhoff. He's going to go all the way. The camera's slow. Oh, that's a nice finish by him. He did get fouled. That was a nice finish. Way to hung in the air. He had everybody going. All the Illini Central guys' momentum was going the other way, and he just hung in the air and finished it. And just like that, it's back to 8. This could make it 9. Emhoff with the free throw. Back rim. Rebound down to Brody. Brody has come alive here lately. I just like the aggressiveness that he's had here. Preston Clark for three. That's short. Rebound down to Parker. I don't know how that ball got to him. That was a pretty good box out by whoever it was. Here comes White. Ryder, probably our best individual defender. Got his help. Oh, that looked like that should have been a, doesn't matter what it should have been, huh? White with it. Gets in the lane and off the glass, rolls around and goes in. Preston Clark. Here we go. Now Strong has two hands in his back. Know whether the coaches agreed with it, but it looked like it to me. Here comes Sam Suba. He will get 13. Will Alvey. Brody falls away, just rolls off. That one, I thought that one was falling in from sitting up here on the top row. White's gonna set a screen, try to set a screen. Try not to lose him here. You've got to have one of your guards has got to be able to stay in front of a person who's not a guard, and that's not a shot or anything at Duggar. He seems to be he's a good player, but Carter Flaherty as a guard has got to be able to stay in front of him. Ooh, that's an illegal screen, maybe. White gets in the lane, dumps it down. Two guys going for the basketball. It's going to be a jump. That'll be ours. Here comes Will Durbin for Parker Umback and Parker Swore for Preston Clark. 38-30, so we've traded points. We've traded points here in the third quarter. Brody misses, rebound down to, that's going to be off of Parker Swore. Emhoff with it, off to White. That is not, I don't know how we got away with that, and I'm not picking on Will Durbin, but how Will is guarding a guard, that is not a good recipe for success. And it stays at 8 with 2:38 to go in the third. Got to start stringing some stops together. That run back, it's happened again where we switched and got Will on him. There's a three from Ty Basham. I like the call from the official. He called it right, and he had it right on the floor, too. The crowd was ready to get excited about it, but I agree with the call. It was a foul, it was a block, and it was definitely on the floor. There's a foul on Will Durbin. Not a lot he could have done there. Suba got good position off the inbounds play to set up for the inbound. That's why you got to do your work early. You got to fell for a fake or for a screen. Suba's going to get both of the free throws, and just like that, now it's back to 13. Preston's doing. I mentioned it a couple of times. Can't put the ball in front of him. Preston has done a good job. He had him. He keeps switching out and getting Will on him. That's a rough one. But unfortunately, we haven't scored probably in the last 3 or 4 possessions. Parker gets it. Got to get a stop. Emhoff with it. He'll bring it up, try to get him into. The funny thing is White's had 2 here in the second half, but he still has such an impact on the game defensively when we're trying to bring it up. Parker probably should have kept his dribble a little bit longer. Ooh, White gets his shot blocked right there. Preston Clark blocks that shot. That was nice. White slowed down a little bit because I think he was hoping to draw the foul, but Preston did a good job avoiding it. Hits the 3. Parker comes back with the 3. But unfortunately, we're not gaining any ground. You can't trade points when you're down 13. Those stops in the second quarter that got us back into it, and those stops early. Ten seconds to go in the third. Ryder tried to draw a charge, but he didn't get it. I don't know if they went knee to knee. I apologize, didn't have the camera in the right spot. But it looked like Ryder took a knee to his knee, but he seems to be all right. He plays soccer, part of a regional championship winning soccer season with Athens and Greenview. He's a tough kid, so I'm sure he'll keep playing. So 15 points is a tough hill to climb in 8 minutes, but it can be done, but it's going to have to be defensively, and we got to go on offense. I've mentioned it about 2 or 3 different times. I know we switch everything. I think we've got to do a better job of making sure we're not switching. The NBA does that all the time, where you try to you try to hunt. In the NBA, you call it hunting. You hunt somebody. What Illini Bluffs, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but they are definitely getting us into situations where we're switching people on to White that we don't want on him. And then it's not about him shooting it all the time. It's he creates well for his teammates. He's at 21 points right now. He did not pick up a foul in that quarter, so we're going to see him for all 8 minutes of this. And there's the same play we've ran before for a layup, and we get it. Little high post or 4 across, get it to the elbow. Got to get stops. Here's where we wish that shot clock was. We use the shot clock in the JV game kindly because we're trying to figure out learning how to do it and make sure, you know, as we get ready for next year when we have to run it, you use it. Good hustle by Preston Clark. I mentioned on the last broadcast on Friday night, he's really improved as a defender. I don't think Illini Bluffs isn't trying to hold it. I think they're still up. They're not, you know, wanting to try to run the clock out with 7 minutes to go. Coach just told them to run offense and keep moving because they know if they run it, you're going to end up finding some. There's a good defense by Preston. There's a lob opportunity. M. Hoff gets all the way in, misses the layup. That's going to be saved. Did that hit the curtain? Carter Flaherty tracks it down. Brody to Ryder. Need to go quick. Ryder drive. Nice back cut. Parker, come on. If we ever hit one, we needed that one. Got to play defense now. That's good deep. Did a good job initially, and then when he got beat, I don't think that's not a bad foul necessarily. It was good in the defense initially, and then kind of broke down after that. It's a better defended out of bounds play. Good hands by Preston on Duggar, but see if we can defend again. That was a good job on defense on that possession. I'm going to call that one. And Preston's got 4 quick, or that gets him to 4. But at this point, with 6 minutes to go in the game, you really don't have an option. M. Hoff goes to the line, and he makes the first. Like I said, steady. When you call these games, and obviously you haven't seen any of these, I haven't seen Illini Bluffs play this year. You just notice what you see in front of your face after coaching for 30 years. And it's the kind of kid that, basketball-wise anyway, you just like having somebody like that you can count on taking care of the basketball, getting you into what you're trying to run. Ryder brings it up, and that's a steal by number 12. Number 12 is Basham. He misses. The rebound comes down to Duggar, and he finishes. Definitely he got fouled. It didn't get called. Brody with it. Brody's going to shoot from the spike line. It's off. Rebound down to Basham. White gets in the lane. He gives it off. And the help defense isn't where it needs to be, and they get the basket, and that pushes it just about, and we turn it over. White with it. I thought maybe he's going to go behind his back. Gets his shot blocked. Coach isn't happy because it was about the same contact at the other end, and I don't necessarily disagree with him. Kind of let it get a little bit. Now, that's usually when when people start to get upset, is when you're not calling it and then you are calling it. Just they want it to be consistent. Most of the people who get wound up in the gymnasium. Preston hits the first free throw. 54-36, 4:52 to go. We got a lot of game left. Carter Flaherty checking back in. Preston gets both free throws. Coach Burke's going to change defenses, it looks like. We'll see how this goes. This isn't a bad thing. You're getting closer to the postseason. You're not going to win either conference now with two games left to go in the regular season. Why not work on something that you might be able to use a week from tonight in a regional game? So Coach Burks is 1-3-1. May need to move up a little bit. Yep. Coach Burks did tell the boys move up a little bit. He's in a 1-3-1, so now they need to move up a little bit more and try to trap. They got to get up here. This will be the thing is Coach calls out empty, so that means he's getting everybody out of the lane. Coach Burks was hoping they would be a little bit more aggressive than they've been, and now they're doing a good job of just moving the basketball against the zone. Now we're back to man now. That was an interesting takeoff. There's that dump down pass. That's to Suba. .330 to go, 56-37 in favor of Illini Bluffs. Brody with a fall away, hits it. White will take his time bringing it up. Wanted to try to double it to get it out of his hands. Problem is everybody on the backside has to know what's going on and be paying attention to what we're doing. There's a foul on Flaherty. That'll be the 5th team foul, and that will get the Tigers into bonus. White will go to the free throw line. While we get ready to shoot the free throws, White misses the first. Flaherty checks out. Durbin checks in. Makes the second. Parker on back brings it up, gives it off to Ryder Claypool, throws it into Parker. Parker, nice move in the lane, rims out, tries to go get it, can't get it. Rebound came down to Suba. He threw it off of someone. Coach calls full timeout, so he knew I was getting ready to go through these two things. So regional-wise, regional time, like I said, Illini Bluffs is the 9 seed, as you can see them up there on the top. They take on Princeville, and I was going to check and see, do they play Princeville during the regular season? They do, and they beat Princeville, but it's all the way back on the 12th of December, 59-52. That game was at home, if I can trust Max Preps. I know Monday is a long way from December 12th, but they have played before, so they do have seen one another. And then they will play the winner of Abingdon and Rova. Rova is the 16 seed up there, as you can see that. And then after they play the 2 games on your own home court, then it'll be moved to. There was a technical foul called. I don't know what happened. I heard the official explaining it I saw the official explaining it to the coach, but I did not hear what happened or what it was. So 2:32 to go, 41-57. I'll get that regional graphic, hopefully that screenshot put back up there before the game's over. We'll do it after the final horn goes off. Brody drives up top to Preston. Preston shoots the 3. It's off. Rebound down to Suba. And he'll give it off to Emhoff, and they'll walk it up with 2:15 to go in the game. White yo-yos his dribble. They get it back to Emhoff. That's when you have 2 people that can handle the ball, Emhoff being one of them, White being the other one. It sure makes things easier than, like I said, when White had to go out. Emhoff with it. He's dribbling through, and there's a foul there. Emhoff hits the first. And the second. Illini Central will take it out with 1:50 to go with the score 59-41. Ryder Claypool with it. Ryder brings it up. Emhoff takes it. White's going to have it out ahead. Be nice to get a foul so we could get our subs in or something, turnover or something to get our subs in the game. There's the foul to get the subs in. Emhoff will shoot the first, and it rims out. So wholesale changes for both teams. Landon McGinnis, number 22, a senior, he checks in. Number 23, Hank Nance checks in. He's a senior. Brady McLaughlin, number 20. Parker Schwarr comes back in. He's 42. He has played already. Emhoff misses it. Rebound down to Brady McLaughlin. There's a foul by number 40, Jacob Russell. So that way they get Emhoff out. Number 3, Mikey Akamura comes in. Everybody else that's out there has already been in, I think, except maybe number 21. Eric Pincock did not get in earlier, so he's in. So everybody, like I said, we just cleared the benches. Everybody's got in. Hank with it. Hudson Schaub's the one I didn't mention. Landon McGinnis looks inside, gives it off to Parker Schwarr. He's going to shoot a fall-away jump shot, and it'll rim in for him. 38 seconds to go in the game. And Grant Cruitt will dribble it up. Kind of hope they try to score. Why not? Got guys that haven't played very much. As a guy who didn't get to play very much, it was always nice when you just go ahead and finish it out. You're not running the score up because you get somebody to try to get somebody a basket. There's a shot from number 21. Like I said, Eric Pincock shoots that one. It rims out. Let's see if we can get a shot for one of our guys. 5 seconds to go. Landon McGinnis will shoot a 3, and it bounces off. And that's the final. Illini Central falls tonight 59-43 to the Tigers of Illini Bluffs. 59-43 is the final. Well, the game, like I said, the game started off 15-0 in favor of the Tigers, and it looked like it was going to be a long night. The score didn't end up the way we wanted it, obviously, but we definitely did. I said in my keys to the game that we needed to compete. I thought we did that after we got down. The problem is when you dig yourself a hole, and then it's hard to get out of, and we just didn't. We never did. We cut it to 8. Actually, I think we may have gotten it all the way to 6 at one point, and then just weren't able to get any closer than that. So 59-43. Illini Central falls. Like I said, the boys will be on the road tomorrow night at Pleasant Plains, and then we'll be back home Friday night for Riverton. If you're still with me, I should have ran this sooner. If you're an Illini Central person, you haven't already, click that subscribe. That way anytime you can just see the stuff we put up. Whether or not you click the like, doesn't matter. The bell, though, helps you get notifications when I start a broadcast. I upload something to YouTube, to this channel. So those are things that you can do to make sure you know what we've got going on. I know we're getting close to the end of the regular only a couple more broadcasts left before we switch over to the spring sports, and not easy to broadcast those. At least I haven't figured it out yet. But Coach Burks will be up here to visit with me in a little bit. I will after he talks to the guys. So I'm going to step away for a second, and then I'll be back to interview Coach and finish up the broadcast. So hang with me if you want to hear what Coach Burks and I have to say. If you don't hang around, I'll see you Friday night for Riverton. Well, I'm here with Coach Burks. Well, I guess before the game I talked about my keys to the game, and number one was compete every possession.
Mm-hmm.
After we got down a lot, we kind of did.
It was. I told them it was fitting that it ended a 16-point defeat because we were down 16-0 before we decided to start playing.
Yeah.
Fortunately, tonight wasn't regionals to end people's careers or seasons,
right.
So hopefully that's a lesson that we learned. But that's kind of been our theme recently, and obviously, we were down a starter. Kind of changed that up a little bit, and then trying to figure out about Dom. So I mean, all that played into it. But we're still good enough to be ready to play, and we just weren't, and we got to figure it out. But yeah, I thought from that point on it was back and forth, competitive, physical. It was a great basketball game. We just got down too much too early and couldn't climb out of it.
Right. I didn't on the broadcast. I tried to say it in a way. Wasn't being disrespectful to them, but I didn't feel like down 16 that meant the game was over. I thought we could chip away.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't played very good defense. We hadn't taken very good shots. And you had a chance, and you did. Like, I think, do we cut it all the way to 6? I know it was 8.
We cut it to 4.
Cut it to 4.
Cut it to 4 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then couldn't get a good offensive possession, very many good offensive possessions in a row there.
Yep.
I know I kind of glanced down at you sometimes to see your reactions to stuff, and we did not get very good offensive possession, taking some good shots. And you're playing some young guys, too, and I'm sure that affects it defensively.
Yeah, it does. And what they don't realize is, once you use all that energy and play that hard to get back in the game, then, you're just spent, and not having Dom, that's a guy that plays 32 minutes a night. So that obviously we needed to add those minutes, and we played guys in the JV game that are then trying to play. So, yeah, we just kind of used all our energy to get back in it and didn't have anything left. But it was fun, watching them compete and climb to get back in the game. It's just ultimately wasn't enough. So
it's good for the young guys, too, to see that situation where you have somebody like the kid that they have,
mm-hmm.
the white kid who catches fire, because you totally have to play defense differently when
sure.
someone, in that situation. And you can't learn that in practice.
No,
because you have to be in the heat of the moment to learn, hey, I'm no help. Because I can't, if you guys are relying on me, if I'm guarding that kid, I said this on the broadcast, I'm not helping you.
No,
I can't help you. Because there was one time initially, one of the first plays of the second half where it didn't hurt you, but someone, I think Ryder was guarding him, and he, his natural instinct is to help.
Yeah. For sure.
But it's like, those are the things you have to learn on the fly, and you need your younger guys to learn them.
Yeah.
And it's a learning game. Tonight I think is a learning game. It's not making excuses. It's not whatever.
For sure.
But hopefully you learn something. And like you said, the season didn't end tonight. You've got 3 games left. What are you going to do to get ready for a week from tonight?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what obviously we know going to Pleasant Plains tomorrow and hosting Riverton on Friday, we're in for an uphill battle, but we have to find a way to get better in those games. So we're ready for next Monday night. I know these guys, and obviously we coached them through a regional championship last year, so I know they really don't like to lose when it comes down to it. It just I wish we could pull that out of them, in a regular season game.
Right.
But I think we'll be ready. We do have to get better. We got to get off to better starts. We got to make better decisions on offense. And we're capable of it. We've done it. We got 11 wins. We've done it throughout the season, and we just got to make sure we lock in and, not give anything away, because that's really what the postseason is, just not giving anything away.
That's true. I mean, it's all about what happens a week from tonight.
For sure.
Not tonight. So.
Nope.
All right, so on the road, like we said, tomorrow, and then Friday we'll be back here in the Cougar Den for senior night. So.
Yep, senior night. Celebrate a bunch of good kids and have a little fun, regardless of what happens in the game. And then, we're the coaching staff's already switched to Monday, postseason mode, and let the guys enjoy the last 2, and then we'll all get after it together. So.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for sitting in with me, and we'll talk to you on Friday. Well, thanks for tuning in with me tonight. Like I've said before, it's doing it by yourself. It's always more of an interesting thing, but I thought it went all right. So thanks again. Like I said, we'll see you on Friday for Illini Central Riverton. Take care, and we'll see you Friday night.